Hello YouTube, this is part 2 of my series of videos that I'm going to be doing for this Wollensak T1400 reel-to-reel tape recorder. There is not one date stamped in this owner's manual, but I still, for some reason, I think I looked it up or something, came across some sort of info, and I still believe that this was manufactured sometime mid-50s or late 50s. I hope there's a viewer that can go on ahead and comment if they know and can confirm manufacture date for these machines. Would be great. But so in my previous video I was describing the scraping sound once I plug the unit in, and automatically I hear this like rotating scraping sound, and what it was is it was the fan motor, because once you plug it in, it just automatically starts spinning. Right now, I took the blades off of this spindle, but you plug it in, and automatically it starts spinning. And this cam or pulley, whatever, what have you, starts spinning automatically. And at the bottom, where the fan actually sits, right below the fan blades, there's a grill, and that's what it was scraping against, its own housing, the grill. So what I had to do is I had to tighten the mounting bolts to the fan motor and adjust the grommets a little bit because they're super old, so I'm sure they sagged. And what happened was is the fan blades started getting closer and closer to the housing and scraped against the grill. So I tightened up those bolts, adjusted the grommets a little bit, and it seemed to fix it because I don't get that sound anymore. So must be just right at that height away from the housing, and on the other side that pulley wasn't pushed further up or anything like that either, so it was a good, I guess it did the job. But while it was all still intact, before I took it apart, I would engage the play function, and I could see the flywheel spinning, but the belts were so loose it wasn't gripping onto the take-up reel, and so the take-up reel wouldn't even spin. And everything still needs to be lubed up. I haven't done any of that. Still needs a thorough cleaning, but since I knew I needed new belts, and I don't even know where I'm going to find those belts, hopefully there's a viewer that can point me in the right direction to get replacement belts for, if not this machine, maybe something alike or just as good that would work would be great. But since I knew I'm not going to be able to do that job for my coworker, so and I know this thing needs probably a big thorough cleaning and a lube job, and obviously all these components seem to be, I mean, I couldn't tell you if it's factory, but I would say it is because it's a clean job. It doesn't look hacked or anything, and obviously these components are super old. Some of these components I'm not even familiar with. This right here looks like a capacitor, but it looks like if I were to guess, maybe a polyester clear see-through foil capacitor, maybe. Hopefully I'll get, I'll be able to Google all that and get replacements for everything. Old carbon composition resistors and paper capacitors. I see that have already exploded their inner whatever oil or filament stuff that comes in those paper ones. Those have failed. So I haven't put my multimeter on anything because I think what I'm gonna do is just start, since I'm new and I'm not a tech and I'm learning on my own. I'm gonna start with replacing all the resistors and any capacitors that I can identify. And if I can get that far, I'll be happy camper. I'll put some deoxit and stuff in these potentiometers, because also other indications that things are failing. While the machine in this unit was still intact, I would engage the play function or make an attempt like I had described, and to do that I turn on the tone control. The cap stand starts spinning, and it also starts spinning the flywheel. That's when I noticed the belts weren't even catching onto the take-up reel, and I knew that I needed to replace the belts. But when I turn on the tone control and that all those other functions start happening, I get this really loud distortion automatically right away. And it was going in and out, not really fast, but through really gradual periods of times. But it would only play on 7.5 speed, not 3 3/4. For some reason, the capstan wouldn't even spin on 3 3/4. So since this tone control is connected to all these components, I'm just trying to use my own little logic here. It's obviously going to a blown paper capacitor. There's another one on the other side where the volume knob is. So tracing everything, I can see obviously there's failure causing that distortion. I didn't have a source plugged into this machine at all. So, and there was noise. So it's internal noise that's going on and hum and stuff. And I'll learn how to do all that. And everything is visible for the ratings and tolerance and stuff. So I'm going to do my best and try to replace everything. Start with the resistors and the capacitors. And I see a couple of diodes, or at least it looks like a diode. If it is, it's huge, and I'm not familiar with that. But anyways, any suggestions or comments, or even questions, if I can answer them, would be great. And we'll see you on the third video. Real quick, I wanted to do more of a close-up on some of these components, so if anyone recognizes anything, they can give me some advice. For instance, this capacitor right here, I am unfamiliar with that one, but as you can see, it's 5% rating for tolerance, 500 volts, and it looks like 2000. I don't know if that's picofarads or microfarads, or even if that's a capacitor or not, but as you can see, this paper capacitor has just completely failed. There's that trace I was telling you, that this is the wire that I was tracing to the tone control, and that's how I know there's obviously distortion going on. And I'll just do a little tour of all the components that are super old in this unit. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a really fun job. I'm enthusiastic. I'm new. However, I am determined. Ceramic capacitors at the yin yang. Everything's a really tight fit. Not that I'm discouraged. However, like I said, new. There's that diode. I think it's a diode. I'll try to get a better view of that. But the biggest challenge for me is going to be obviously taking everything apart, all these leads off, desoldering all these. I got some good desoldering equipment. I do have a gun. I got the Hacko, what is it? The FR something or other. But if that doesn't work, I'll use the little tiny fundamentals that I have. And I watch people like YouTube member Max Arcade and NorCal 715 and YouTube member Glasstronics. These people help me out all the time, and I get a lot of good education and fundamentals from people like them. So I'm really appreciative for people who do videos, restoration projects, because it helps me with my hobby. And honestly, it's like a newfound love for me, because I'm honing in my craft at soldering and being able to identify certain components and what they're used for, but not all of them. So this is a cool little vacuum tube built-in amp for this reel-to-reel, and I figure, what the heck, might as well take it on as a project, see if I can get it going. Of course, I'm going to use as much caution as I can while working around other wires because everything is a tight fit. But I'm motivated. Shoot, this is gonna be fun. This is like, I've never seen a big old ceramic capacitor like that before because I'm a young rookie. But if someone can explain that to me, that'll be cool because at least I'll have a better understanding of why that exists. And it is going to a lug from one of the tubes that I took out. Yeah, I took that out and stashed it so I didn't break any of that stuff. So, alright, well, obviously it's there for a reason. But like I said, I don't know if anybody else would agree or not, but as far as the job that was done here, it doesn't look bad, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe everybody else might have a different opinion, but as far as what I'm looking at, it's not like it's crazy hacked and ugly, to be honest with you. It's just old. So, anyways, I thought I would just do a little close up on the underbelly, the belly of the beast here, the little beast, the Wollensak T-1400 reel-to-reel tape recorder. Alright. Yeah, we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.